Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video, and we are in season for the latest global tournament in Clash Royale. It is the ramp up tournament, and it is out. I believe it came out about a day and a half ago, and so as you can see, each battle starts at single elixir, then becomes double elixir, and eventually triple elixir. I believe it even goes to ×4 and ×5, which is kind of out of control. Pretty crazy, but yeah, ramp up tournament is out, and so you guys know that here on the channel I usually like to cover the global tournaments pretty early on, ideally on the first day, but obviously it came out yesterday for me, and I was making my full 12-win classic challenge with 3.0 Xbow Cycle video yesterday, so couldn't do it then. Gonna do it now, and still pretty early in the tournament, so hopefully this is okay for you guys. But yeah, ramp up battle. It's gonna be ramping up, obviously, as the name suggests, but it's interesting because you guys know that I usually like to play all my global tournaments with 3.0 Xbow Cycle. I'm going to be doing that again today. But I'm not sure if it's necessarily going to be the best version, actually, because I don't know, I feel like there are going to be a lot of heavy decks in this for sure. And I mean, ramp up, it does mean it's like a blend of double and triple elixir, I feel like, the special party modes, because you have ×1 to start off, but then you have ×2 early, and then you have ×3 early as well, and then you will even have ×4, ×5, I'm pretty sure. So it ramps up, and I feel like it's going to get pretty out of control, and I'm in another dilemma, because I feel like Ice Spirit has been so good recently. I've been trying it out. If you watch my recent ladder push videos, I played with Ice Spirit, and it actually did a lot of work. At the same time, when I make these global tournament videos, I usually like to say that Electric Spirit is the safer option, and better for this kind of format where there are limited losses. But I mean, all the best Xbow players, my friends, Betfist, Aragon, Gems, they're all top 100. Betfist pushed really high, like top 3 in the world a few days ago, and they're all playing with 3.0 Ice Spirit. So I guess I'll be trying with Ice Spirit today, but yeah, we're probably going to be seeing quite a few heavy decks in here today. So hopefully I can show you guys how you're supposed to play this with 3.0 Xbow Cycle, and hopefully we can do well. So I think the goal is just going to be get to 10 wins, usually what I do at the start. And as I did with my video yesterday, I'm not going to edit the matchup text at the start of every match because it takes a long time in editing. But there are, as always, going to be timestamps on the video player, so you can scroll around as you please. And let's just get started, I guess. So yeah, there will be timestamps if you guys want to skip ahead. We're going to be starting at 0, working our way all up to 10, so going to be a longer video as well. But found the first match against Vichow LP. Let's give him the good luck, and yeah, as you can see, it is single elixir right now, so it's not going to be ramping up that soon, and so I think heavier decks are going to be at a disadvantage, at least super early on. Let's just fireball those, by the way, because I don't think I had Tesla and Cycle. And anyways, fireball is also fine. We really don't know what it's going to be. We do see a bar barrel as well, and so I think it's going to be Royal Recruits, because Royal Hogs plus bar barrel, that's the main combination I could think of, and I'm actually a bit worried about this because it's going to be pretty scary, but we're going to try and do our best. So he's not playing anything. Let's Xbow, and okay, he does play Flying Machine at the same time that we Xbow. I'm going to go for a log here, and I think let's also fireball the Flying Machine plus that one recruit over there. And then let's also go for an Ice Spirit to freeze everything up on the left. And if he goes Bar Barrel here, I do have Skeletons. Double Elixir does come out, and I get Skeletons down in time, so does stall out a little bit more of the Zappies there. And I am back to my Tesla now. Wow, he's actually just Fireball cycling. And very interesting Fireball placement there. But I'm actually going to go for an Xbow because I don't believe he's back to his Royal Hogs. He has a Golden Knight in here as well, actually. So, okay, and he does have Royal Hogs. Actually, I meant Royal Recruits, by the way, not Royal Hogs. I'm also recording this pretty late for me, so bear with me if I say some mistakes or anything. But we do get a connection, and it's going to be a pretty hard matchup, I'd say. I mean, Royal Recruits has already been pretty hard. Now that Golden Knight is back in the meta, it's really not fun because it's such a strong card. It just absolutely hard counters 3.0 Xbow Cycle, like with really not much counterplay at all. We're going to go Skellies off to the side here, and he does not go, okay, he does go for the dash. That is the counterplay. One of the only things you can do is try and kite the Golden Knight's dash away from everything, and I think we're just going to reset with another Tesla and a Fireball, and so he's spell cycling us. We can definitely spell cycle him back, and we can even just defensive Xbow. I don't see any way of us getting an Xbow connection now that it's triple elixir, because usually Xbow thrives off of mistakes and things like that. But in a format like this, I feel like even if the opponent makes mistakes, he's going to be able to come back. So I'm not sure if we're going to get any more Xbow opportunities, so definitely going to have to play pretty defensive. Let's fireball all of this here. And this is going to be very thematic in Royal Hogs, Royal Recruits decks. You want to be protecting your Tesla against their spam. And another thing that I'm doing is I'm trying not to overcommit to these flying machines, because sometimes what I do is I fireball the flying machine out of instinct, right? It's usually a pretty good play. But then I end up not needing to because the Tesla actually targets it. So let's just fireball those, though, because I can just Tesla. Once again, Knight off to the side. Notice that. So I'm really just separating the Golden Knight as far as possible from my other stuff like the Tesla, because that's how I want to get value. And yeah, now we are, as you can see, we are into overtime. We are in ×4. So it's actually going to be pretty hard to keep up with this, especially with a super fast cycle deck like Xbow. But I think I can do a decent enough job. The hardest part is definitely going to be like trying to commentate as well while playing all this. But let's fireball all of that. He goes for prediction fireball on Tesla, so thankfully we did a different play. We chose to fireball the Royal Hogs instead. Obviously worked out very well. And now I believe he is in range of 2 fireballs and a log. Let's just get the spell cycle started. Yeah, because I know 2 fireballs does about 410 damage. I think 414 exactly. And a log does like 87, so 2 fireballs and a log will do like 500. So that's a pretty good benchmark to know. And yeah, that's going to be a 1-0 start. So yeah, I'm wholeheartedly just expecting to go up against all sorts of heavier decks like this, and this would normally be a pretty hard counter for Xbow, I'd say. Even though he doesn't have arrows in there, he does have the E-Spirit for a faster cycle and Golden Knight to kind of invalidate us. But the early connection is important. So another thing I wanted to say is that with 3.0 Xbow in particular, you want to abuse single elixir as much as you can and maybe try and get a connection, because Xbow is very much a single elixir deck a lot of the time. We found a match against Savage Thigh 888. Very interesting name. And let's just split archers. I think he's not really playing anything because I went Ice Spirit and he ignored it. Maybe he'll respond to the split archers. If not, I will probably just Xbow with this. It might be risky because we don't know what he has, but he is leaking and we do have archers covering both lanes, so I don't feel too bad about it. Goes for Executioner plus Ram. Let's log everything back, and Knight as well to protect against the Battle Ram. And my idea was actually to also get the Knight to protect against the Executioner. Sadly didn't work out because I played it a bit late after I logged the Exy back, but still we get a nice connection again. And so especially if there's going to be some kind of heavier deck, this single elixir advantage is going to be very important. We are already heading into double, so it's very nice that we're walking into double elixir with a 1000 damage lead. Definitely going to be very important here. He goes for a mirrored Royal Ghost, so going to be some kind of mirror deck. Interesting. Let's go for a Knight, and then I think I want to Xbow with this. I don't really want to Xbow in the middle, though, because it's going to be very vulnerable against the Executioner. He does have it, obviously. There it is. Minion Horde, let's just fireball that. Was tempted to fireball the Exy with the tower, actually, but I'm just going to log, and Royal Ghost comes down. We'll go Knight, and that's going to be a connection that might actually be tower if he... Yeah, he actually gives the good game, so I'm going to defend this, and I think we can Xbow opposite. He should be back to Exy, I believe. Actually, yeah, he has a Mirror Ram too. Let's just log it all back and go Ice Spirit plus Skeletons as well. And level 13 Barbs are doing a lot of work, but still, we were able to defend without taking any tower damage, which is the most important thing. And we've basically already taken his right side tower, so all we really need to do is just defend here. I'm actually going to log on defense here against this Battle Ram as well, just because I feel like he might mirror it, or even if he doesn't, yeah, there it is. That's why I wanted to protect my Tesla. So pretty important play over there. And then I think let's go for an Xbow now. Knight as well to predict the Executioner. Goes for a Ghost plus Skarmy, and I remember he also has a Minion Horde in this deck, so we do want to be careful of that, of course, as well. And we're actually going to do some split lane pressure here, which would be so much better if his tower wasn't so low. It's literally at 200 HP, so this Xbow would have been really good if it was like a much higher HP tower, but obviously it wasn't really necessary considering the fact that his tower was in spell cycle range anyways. But usually, especially in heavier elixir modes like triple and double, you can start stacking Xbows, especially in triple, if they don't have a great response, and then you can try and overwhelm them with multiple Xbows. But we're going to get the second crown, which is nice because in a format like this, in global tournaments, crowns are very important, actually. It's given the good game. And yeah, just interesting. these are all, the first game was a meta deck, but this was kind of a very much an off meta deck against multiple win conditions, and I'm expecting to play against a few of those at least a couple times more on our road up to 10 wins. But yeah, my advice, you guys might be asking, you know, how do you deal with multiple win cons? And technically he has 3 because he has Hog, Battle Ram, and a mirrored Battle Ram, or a mirrored Hog, and you only really have a Tesla for those. And so my best advice would be just protect your Tesla. So notice that one time against the Battle Ram, I logged it back because I knew he might mirror his Ram because he has the tendency to do that, and that let me keep the Tesla alive, helped out against the mirrored Ram and the Hog, and that is very useful. Another option is defensive Xbows, but that is costly for sure. And I feel like that's better off against something like Giant plus Hog Rider or Royal Giant plus Hog Rider. So we don't have the best cycle, unfortunately, against this Furnace. I would ideally get to just Fireball it or even set up a Tesla. Unfortunately, neither of those are anywhere in her hand, so I have to respond with Archers instead, which is fine. Although somehow that does splash. I think I'm actually just going to log the Furnace here, because logging the tower isn't really worth it, since he is going to spawn the Death Furnace Fire Spirit, and I will have to respond to that once again. Let's actually just Fireball this Dark Goblin, because it's going to be pretty annoying. And wow, the Mega Knight just barely doesn't get into range of the other tower. Now it does, thankfully, but for some reason it wasn't before. I guess maybe I played my Knight too early. But usually, yeah, I like to kite Mega Knights into the middle with just a Knight, should fully counter it. If not, just add some skeletons in there to help out. It'll be fine. But now we're already in double elixir, so already our advantage in terms of the format is kind of going away, and Mirror Sparky comes in. We're going to go, I think let's Fireball it. He probably won't be expecting this, honestly, and hopefully I can get a connection. If it still gets a hit, I won't know what to say. Okay, thankfully, does not still get a hit. And he goes for a Zap, so that's actually pretty good for us, because Xbow's actually just going to help out against the Furnace, and going to go with an Ice Spirit as well, once again protecting my Tesla. I don't really want to go aggressive now because he has both Mega Knight and I believe Sparky in hand. Both of those would be very suboptimal. Yeah, there's the Mega Knight coming down, so we actually do have to cycle back to another Knight for that, which I will do just right now. And if he goes for Sparky, I will Xbow opposite. He might be expecting me to go in the right. Yeah, he goes Mirror Mega Knight, so he was expecting me to go in the right, which is why I'm going for an Xbow, and I could actually Fireball that, but I'm naturally, yeah, I'm just going to log the Dark Goblin. Hopefully this locks on the tower, takes out the Fire Spirit, and then, okay, Bandit comes down. Please, Tesla's helping out. Okay, Bandit just barely survives on like 1 HP. Let's go for another Xbow, and I know he's back to Mega Knight now, so I do have to cycle back to my Knight. Actually goes for a Sparky instead, so let's just log it back. And wow, Sparky sadly does not hit the skeletons. They all kind of died. So yeah, it looks like this is where our window of opportunity kind of goes. I'm going to take some really nice Fireball value there on the Dark Goblin plus Furnace. You want to look for a good spell value in situations like those. Let's just go for low Archers, accepting that our Xbow's probably, our Tesla's probably dead. And let's go for a defensive Xbow now. So our window of opportunity is basically gone, I would say, to get an Xbow connection without building up a huge advantage. And we can't build a huge advantage by just going for Xbow. It's not going to work like that. So we do have to play pretty defensively now, which is why I went for the defensive Xbow. It goes for a mirrored Dark Goblin and Bandit, so good thing I didn't Xbow there. Going to Xbow opposite instead. And Furnace is sadly going to buy enough time, because even though he was low on elixir at the time, he's going to have enough after the Furnace. Yeah, the Furnace just stalls for a long time. But again, in hand with what I was saying earlier, split lane Xbow pressure is going to be very nice, and let's apply some of that right now. We are actually back to a third Xbow, which we can get down. And I noticed that the right side Xbow is on tower, although the left side Xbow... Oh, that left side Xbow is on tower too. Wow, let's just get a Knight down, and Dark Goblin comes in, but not the best zap by him, actually. Or not the best Dark Goblin, I guess. We're going to go Skeletons to predict, and let's log all this back as well. Xbow is going to take out the Dark Goblin, going to get a Knight down just in time for the Mega Knight, and once again, just applying a lot of pressure in both lanes, kind of what you have to do here. And let's just go for a Tesla, because our Xbow... Okay, our Xbow is finally locked on. Nice. Now we just have to defend. He's going to zap, so we have to make sure this Bandit dies as soon as possible. And he does sadly get a Mega Knight down in time, but I think we're just going to start spell cycling now. It is time for ×5 elixir. This is honestly where Xbow is going to be pretty weak against like Golem double big spell, but it's actually going to be really strong against some other situations too. Like right now, I can just cycle so aggressively. I can literally just cycle my fireballs on tower. It's ×5 elixir, and I'm already back to my fireball right about now. that's going to be GG. And yeah, notice we literally didn't take any damage on the tower. I believe that was just from a zap from his spell. But yeah, also guys, it is a bit hard to commentate as the match gets more chaotic and hectic as we move into the higher elixir mode, so I do apologize for that, but not much I can do commentating live while playing these crazy game modes. I remember feeling this way when I was doing the triple elixir global tournament too. Anyways, 3-0, let's keep it going. And yeah, like I said, I think I want the goal to be at 10 wins today. Another thing is I could have started at 5 and gone to 10, but I feel like starting at 0 is better. It's just a bit more effort from my end, but I'm honestly willing to do it, which is why I did, or I wouldn't be making this video right now. But let's just cycle a log, first play, and see what our opponent's going to be running. And he goes for a witch. Okay, so kind of unfortunate that we cycled our log, because I will fireball. I think I would Tesla if I had it, but since I don't, I kind of have to just fireball, because now we don't have log and cycle for that, and I believe I'm still 2 away. Yeah, so this could be a graveyard deck. Gonna go Ice Spirit, and it is actually going to be graveyard, called it. So let's go for a log. He might have arrows in this deck or something. Let's just go for a late log, cleaning up everything. Not the best Skelly King ability by him, honestly, because archers are putting in a lot of work, and he just uses arrows, so we're going to actually take all this damage and go Xbow opposite. And he goes for a Skarmy, so we're going to go Skeletons and Ice Spirit, try and get a connection here. Because, yeah, nice, we get it. We're going to go Knight in front to predict whatever he plays. Inferno Dragon is fine. And going to go for a high Tesla. I think we did take a lot of damage, honestly, in the left. So not optimal, but we get more damage out of the trade. And hopefully, yeah, he goes for a witch in the back again. We're just going to be playing defense through offense right now and trying to make something happen. As you can see, we force out the Skelly King in the lane that he probably doesn't want to... Okay, wow, he has Giant Graveyard in this deck. That's going to be pretty dicey, actually. We're going to go Ice Spirit and Skeletons for the Giant, try and DPS it down as fast as possible. And he is probably going to go arrows on my archers. No, he doesn't. Wow. And he actually just lets my Xbow take a lot of damage and goes for super late arrows, not sure why. But wow, this is going to be a super hard matchup, guys. Giant Graveyard with Skelly King and arrows. So with both the Skelly King and the Giant, it's going to be very hard to get a connection. Obviously, we did. I feel like our opponent isn't playing the best, but I think it's time to just go all-out defense, and hopefully we can win this, because obviously as the match goes on, it's going to get very hard, because he does have the arrows for the archers, and that's why you notice I pre-cycled them. I'm going to get back to a second pair. I'm already back to one right now, so I can actually just split my archers. The reason I'm splitting them and not going all in the same lane is because I know that he has an Inferno Dragon coming down. I cannot afford to just kind of let that go, and we actually defend that almost perfectly, and I will just fireball the witch. So honestly, this is a really good situation for me. I'm just going to do the same thing, pre-cycling archers, and he is just fireballing, not really getting much value out of that, to be honest. And the Giant is kind of just getting shredded right now. So, yeah, very thankful that I was able to get a nice connection early on and defended it. And also, the fact that we don't have to let this game drag on to overtime, because I guarantee I would lose if this game went on to overtime. Because he has Giant, he has Graveyard, he has arrows, and once again, I mentioned Electric Spirit being safer. This is one of the matchups that it would be safer in, because he has Giant Graveyard with arrows, and so when they go for arrows on your archers, you really only have one option, and that is to get a crowd control cleanup on the graveyard. And obviously, by far the best card in the entire game for that is going to be the log. That's why you notice that I usually use log for the graveyard sometimes. But Electric Spirit is another card, sadly we don't have it here, that would help with that case as well. You could go E-Spirit first, then log, and defend almost all the graveyard if you get good E-Spirit luck. Let's just open this chest, I guess. We do get a legendary, but yeah, so that is one matchup that having the Ice Spirit definitely hurts, even though Ice Spirit's better on defense. It's not the best because of the fact that we need more graveyard answers when he does have the arrows, but we were still able to win, thankfully. And let's keep it going. Found another match against Yanis 2CR. Let's give him the good luck. And I don't think Xbow first play is a good play at all, because, again, single elixir, I feel like Xbow first play in double is honestly fine, but in single, it's really just not. And that's why even in normal ladder matches and grand challenges, you never really go Xbow first play, because at single elixir, you don't know what they're going to have. You can definitely get punished very easily. And okay, we see a Dark Goblin plus Archer Queen. Going to fireball here. Knight almost gets a hit, sadly just barely doesn't. And actually no idea what Dark Goblin plus Archer Queen is going to be as a combination. I'm going to log this Archer Queen back, and hopefully he pops the ability a bit too late, as he does, thankfully, so tower gets one hit. If he did pop it in time, would have had to go Ice Spirit to stall as well. He goes Eggsy in the back, so perfect time. Let's go Xbow opposite and try and get a connection right now. Late Tombstone goes Ewiz as well, so he's basically going to be at, I would say, really low elixir-wise, maybe even... Okay, never mind, it is double elixir now, so he is going to get kind of bailed out by that. But we're going to go for a center Tesla, and we still got a small connection, I believe, before the Ewiz reset. Obviously, I didn't know he had Ewiz, so wasn't exactly going to predict, but let's go Xbow again. Ice Spirit to predict maybe an Executioner, and he just lets it connect again. Wow, going to go Knight for the Mega Knight, and then Archers, and let's Log as well. Dark Goblin is wreaking havoc on the Xbow, cannot have that. And let's actually just Fireball here. Wow, it looks like we hit the Ewiz as well. That is huge, and Xbow is once again on tower. So, yeah, we are in double elixir, but still in the early stages of the match. And notice how I'm just going pretty aggressively once my opponent's counters are out of hand, or once he commits like an expensive card in the back, like the Archer Queen or Executioner. And now we don't even need a connection anymore, because of the fact that his tower is very low. So his tower's at 751. That's very good for us, obviously, because that's basically going to be Spell Cycle range. He does also have arrows, which is kind of annoying, because obviously I'm playing archers. We're going to go archers right now. Let's actually Fireball as well, because Lumberjack is going to be pretty annoying. And that's something that I saw Betfist do that I started learning against Archer Queen. You want to take it out early. Sadly, Ice Spirit was kind of badly placed. But look at that Knight placement, just barely not getting clipped by the Eggsy with the Tesla as well. That's really nice. And yeah, just playing pretty much full on defense now. Arrows is going to get a lot of value, but I think it's time to just defensive Xbow. You don't need to defensive Xbow all the time. I wasn't really doing it before, but in a situation where you don't feel like you can break through and you need extra support on defense, don't feel afraid to get defensive Xbows in the game, especially in a format like this where it's triple elixir and elixir goes even higher, because as the elixir format goes on, buildings get more value, because they're like the 30-second lifetime is kind of short on an Xbow. Honestly, that's why Xbow's so weak to spells. Also, I am just starting my spell cycle right now. But because of the fact that the elixir mode, it's ×4 right now, 30 seconds in ×4 is a lot longer than 30 seconds in single elixir. Not in terms of the time, but in terms of the overall elixir. Like, you're going to be spending more. So your defensive Xbow will inherently get more value as the match goes on, and so, especially in this format, I'd say, don't be afraid to defensive Xbow if you can't break through. That's going to put me at a nice 5-0, so off to a really nice start in the Global Tournament. I tried to say tourney and tournament at the same time. I kind of combined them together, but yeah, off to a good start in this GT, and we are just about halfway there, so let's keep it going, I think. Found a match against Ellis. I'm going to go Ice Spirit at the bridge, see what he's going to do, and he does nothing in response. I'm going to Log, and okay, Prince at the back. I think let's just Tesla, and then hold Skeleton. So against Prince, you usually want to counter it with Skeletons, and then you obviously need something else to defend as well. Wow, he has an Earthquake. That is not a good sign. Let's Log as well, and I think we even need to go Archer, sadly. We have to overcommit, because that would have charged onto our tower. We cannot afford that. But wow, this looks really bad. Let's Xbow, because he just spent 4 elixir. Even though I think I'm down elixir, this could definitely backfire. Wow, gets the Tombstone down late. That is absolutely huge. I think we are going to go for a Knight, even though this is super aggressive, because now I don't have a Knight for the Skelly King, obviously. Let's go Ice Spirit up high, and then go for a Log, and let's try and surround the Skelly King if possible. I don't even know if it is. Okay, it is. Nice. Because, yeah, Skelly King has such a huge splash radius. I wasn't even sure if it was possible to surround it, but it looks like it is, thankfully. And we'll just go for a Tesla, and thankfully I got the entire tower there. And once again, I'm fine with him earthquaking the Tesla, because I don't really need a connection anymore. So as long as I don't take any tower damage except spell damage, I will probably win this game. But I think he does have a graveyard in here, right? Because he does have kind of an interesting composed deck, and I feel like the way it's composed just feels like a graveyard deck. He has Earthquake and Poison. Wow. So also, I guess, could just be some kind of spell cycle deck, but once again, just Tesla does the trick. And yeah, he is getting a ton of damage. Oh my god, I'm so glad we went in at the start, because if I didn't, we would probably have lost this match, because he has Earthquake and Poison, and he has a bunch of tanking cards too. Let's get Fireball value on the Witch and the Prince. I want to do it as soon as possible so that I don't miss the opportunity, and then let's just Log the Witch. I think we even have to go Archers for the Mega Minion just to be safe. And now is going to be a nice timing to use our anti-Earthquake placement. By the way, anti-earthquake is also the same as anti-poison, so he can't hit that. And I'm going to be going for another defensive Xbow. Yep, he's forced to spell opposite lane, which is totally fine. Again, I'm not too worried about preventing spell damage on my tower. I'm just worried about preventing him from taking my entire tower. But still, anti-spell placement still have their function, because as you can see, he is slowly whittling our tower down. I do want to bait him out into using at least one of his earthquake and poison on this side. And as he does, actually that was a pretty bad play because he missed the Tesla, but yeah, it looks like he doesn't even have a win condition. I guess his win con is just spell cycle, and so yeah, he has the mirror as well. Oh my god, yeah, so this deck would have been an absolute nightmare for normal 3.0, like assuming I didn't just take the tower at the start, because he has earthquake, poison, he has 2 big tanks in the form of the Prince and the Skelly King. He also has a Tombstone to stall the Xbow out forever. And he does have the mirror in there, so he can literally mirror his spells if he wants to. And that is going to be extremely scary. So, again, I think I haven't even played this tournament yet. This is my first time. But my plan at the start that I was thinking about sounds like it's a good idea. So, what I was saying was, in single elixir especially, you want to try and make the most out of your advantage in the form of your Xbow deck, like the fact that you're playing Xbow and you can outcycle their counters, especially in single elixir, and punish. You definitely want to take advantage of that and try and get a connection, because once it gets into double, triple, even times 4 against this kind of matchup, you are going to be in a world of hurt. So yeah, I feel like that's the only way to have success with Xbow. And honestly, I don't even know if Xbow is going to be good in this tourney, because of the fact that everyone's going to be playing heavy decks like those. And Archer Queen, by the way, I don't think is going to be that good, because I feel like there are going to be quite a few big, heavy spell decks, like multiple big spell. Maybe with lightning as well, and Queen is obviously weak to lightning anyways. It goes for a barrel, so this could be Logbait. So I don't really want to Xbow right away without knowing what exact Logbait version he has, but I guess let's just go for a Knight in the back, because he is leaking, and once again, our single elixir time is very limited. Okay, he has a Firecracker, so it's going to be an unconventional deck. Could still be Logbait, obviously. Firecracker is kind of a Logbait card, but it's not going to be any meta one, because all the Logbait decks run Princess over Firecracker, even though they are honestly very similar cards. But I feel like Princess is just better, because Princess at the bridge is very annoying. But yeah, just center Tesla, very safe play overall. And I guess let's Xbow, test the water, see what he has. And I don't really want to predict in front of this. He has a Mega Knight, that makes sense. Let's go for a Knight, and then Log as well. I think I do want to Log here, because, okay, wow, he has arrows as well. That kind of sucks. Let's Ice Spirit to Kite, and hopefully the Xbow gets a hit on the Firecracker. No, oh my god, Firecracker does so much damage. Now notice that I don't have Login Cycle, so I'm ready to Fireball his barrel if he does. And I think that's actually all in the back, so I don't even need to Fireball. I can just go for archers, and it works out. That's nice. And now I think let's just Spell Cycle, because I think he has Mega Knight. Yeah, he has Barb Barrel too. I do not really want to Xbow into that without having a very favorable setup. And just Xbowing out of nowhere isn't exactly considered favorable, so yeah, I'm actually just going to cycle back to another Fireball and actually Spell Cycle. So this is another game plan you can choose to adopt if you want, just Spell Cycle. And that is honestly what Xbow comes down to in so many matchups, but doing it this early on is a bit unconventional, but I feel like it's fine, honestly, and it is a bit toxic as well. But if you can defend perfectly, you can definitely get away with it. Let's go Xbow now, because his Mega Knight's out of cycle. I was kind of trying to bait him into doing that. He does get an Inferno Tower down. I don't think I can commit to the Barb Barrel, because I need Knight for the Mega Knight, so yeah, just going to leave it. And now, like I said previously, this dual lane Xbow pressure idea is very potent. And he looks like he did not have enough for a Mega Knight, elixir-wise, which is why he went Inferno Tower instead. And obviously that worked out well for us. Let's actually just Fireball this and even Log to hit the Firecracker. And yeah, we got a huge connection. Now I don't have any good counters to barrel in hand, so I do have to cycle pretty quickly to some, but we have the archers now. He does also have a set of arrows in this deck, so it is probably a really good matchup for me, but it's not like it's a free matchup either, because he does have Mega Knight, he has arrows for the archers, he has Barb Barrel for the Xbow, just not really having a big spell. That's why you see I'm abusing my Teslas right now. That's a big thing you can do against any kind of deck like this, where they don't really have a big spell, and a direct tower damage source. So, like even against Bridge Spam, where their only really direct set of tower damage is going to be with a magic archer or with spells. If you just fireball the magic archer every time and you Tesla in the middle, they can't really break through that. So kind of the same idea here. He doesn't really have any direct damage except the Goblin Barrel. And Center Tesla does get value against Mega Knights, Valks, and Minions as well. So that's why I did it. You don't really want to Center Tesla against normal Logbait Cycle because they don't have stuff like Mega Knight. And they're not really building up a big beatdown push. But against this kind of thing, Center Teslas just did the job perfectly. But yeah, 7-0. Really nice start. I've said that like twice now already, but I mean, yeah, it's a pretty nice start. No losses yet, so not much more to ask for. Found another match against Sep, and I believe it's a Russian player. So gets a Knight down, so could actually be an Xbow mirror match. Nope, Fireball. I should really not even try to predict people's decks, because in the global tournament, people really use whatever they want. There's obviously a meta that develops for this kind of thing, but especially in the first, like, 10 wins, 15 wins, even 20 wins sometimes, you're going to be playing against people playing whatever they want. Usually after 15 to 20 is when it kind of solidifies. But we see a Knight, Minions, and Firecracker. I think I'm going to Xbow, because Knight is out of hand. And, again, it is single elixir. I want to take advantage of that fact. And okay, he does have a rocket in here. So that is a bit unfortunate. Because Hog Rocket is kind of annoying. But I guess it's better than an Earthquake. And the fact that he has a Firecracker too is very annoying. Firecracker is one of the most annoying cards in the game, honestly. If you don't have arrows, good luck killing the Firecracker. Because you don't really want to fireball it unless it's in the same lane tower as you. And wow, he has a drill as well. Okay, this is certainly unconventional. Gonna wait for it to take a while and then log, because I want to hit the Death Goblins too. And then I think let's Xbow on the left. Yeah, he does use his Knight as well. This should be pretty good for us. Let's kite the Knight out of range, and nice we get a connection. We're going to protect this with everything we can now, so Skeletons for the Mini P.E.K.K.A, Archers as well. Just going to commit, once again, everything to this connection, and I don't think I need to log. Yep, because Skeleton survives. Let's even Ice Spirit the Minions, so you do need really fast reaction time to be able to pull off plays like those, but in a matchup where it might be annoying to get a connection, especially like a rocket matchup like this, which is fully 1-for-1 counters the Xbow, you do want to make the most out of a connection if you get one, and so that's why I kind of did that just now. Let's go for a Center Tesla, and this pre-Tesla, wow, just snipes the Firecracker. Kind of unfortunate for my opponent there, but you can just pre-Tesla against Hog, honestly. I don't recommend it unless it's Hog Earthquake, but in this case, I'm fine with it because of the fact that I'm basically already taking his tower. So I just need to defend. So in that case, pre-Teslas are totally fine. And this second Tesla that's a bit lower, also I leaked there just because I wanted to get my Knight perfectly placed to counter the drill. This Tesla won't pull a Hog Rider. But I'm already back to another one actually, and I was going to Xbow, but he gets a Firecracker down, which kind of clogs the lane up. And if he rockets again, he's going to be in a lot of trouble actually, because I have 2 Teslas on the field, and I'm going to Xbow Tesla at the bridge right now. Yeah, I have 3 Teslas, technically 2 because 1 is dead. But yeah, he was definitely dead. If this match continued, like, it's basically done, right? Because it's done. But yeah, if this match continued, he was kind of screwed, because if they rocket cycle you, you don't really want to allow that. So against any kind of rocket cycle matchup, you want to pressure with Xbows to the point where you want to get them to rocket your Xbow, and then you can get tower damage either by fireballing or logging the tower or both, or even get it using some tricks to retarget their troops and get your Xbow on tower. But yeah, 8-0 now, off to a wonderful start. I know I just said that like 3 times already, but still, we are very close to our goal of 10 wins. Let's keep it going, and hopefully we can make it happen. So, against KZS27, let's see what he has. With my starting hand, I could log first play, but I'm actually going to go Archers, and if he plays anything, I'll probably Xbow opposite. Yeah, Cannon Cart comes out. We're going to Xbow because Cannon Cart is a huge Xbow hard counter, as you know. Probably one of the hardest counters in the game to it. Let's actually commit a lot to this Mega Minion with Ice Spirit Skellies too. I cannot, unfortunately, go Archers, though, because I do need, Knight for the Baby Dragon. I would, but I need it for this Cannon Cart, so that's why I did that. And looking like it's going to be a Golem deck, so very nice that we got an early connection, because Golem, as you guys know, especially in double and even triple, you're not going to be getting a connection against that. And there's the Golem. So it's going to be interesting. I want to find out what his spells are, And based on Cannon Cart, I feel like it's going to be E-Drag, Tornado, no big spell. But then again, it is Ramp Up. He probably does have like a Lightning in here. Actually, I didn't see that Lumberjack in the right. And I pushed the Golem out of Tesla range. I'm going to log it over. That's something you can do if you misplace your Tesla against like a Golem. Looks like he actually might not have a big spell. So that's pretty nice. And so yeah, we're just going to have to play flawless defense basically. And it might be tricky, but with the right micro, we can definitely pull this win off because we have a nice connection in single to build off of already. But yeah, defense is going to look like setting up pre-Teslas, stacking archers, and I don't think he has an Electro Dragon in here. Going to go high Tesla because he might actually still have lightning. Goes for a cart, going to log, and yeah, it looks like, I feel like if he did have a bigger spell, he would definitely be using it to kill my archers. So notice how I'm just getting so much value out of my archers by keeping them alive. And I'm going to Xbow now. Sadly, it is triple, so he's definitely going to have enough for a Golem in time for this one. But if it wasn't triple, I think he might have been low after that exchange. So going to go for a Tesla. I guess let's go for archers high to snipe this cannon cart. And let's skeletons as well just to stall it out a bit more. And knight to catch the barb barrel, of course. And then we are already back to another Tesla as well. Although I don't even think we need it. And wow, okay, there's the lightning, so... yeah, we do have to kind of panic a little bit and defend that. And against lightning, I think I'm going to go defensive expos now because I simply can't defend with only Teslas, especially if they're just going to get lightninged. But the biggest thing for me right now is going to be... Oh no, did I miss the cannon cart? Okay, I just barely did. Nice. Let's go for a knight, and then anti-lightning Tesla, and then log all that back. Lumberjack is just barely alive, which is kind of annoying, but he's back to another Golem. I think he's gonna lightning my Tesla, but let's just go for a high Tesla anyways. Knight to block the cannon cart just in time before it locks on to the Tesla. And as you can see, archers are doing a lot of work, and also the defensive expo puts in a lot of work there as well. Let's go for a knight here, log the Golemites plus Lumberjack, and yeah, this is just truly a test to how good you can defend with micro defenses for a long time. So, gonna fireball that. Oh my god, that is getting scary. Rage. The thing that gets scary in these Golem matchups is definitely the raged up cannon carts. And now it's ×4. So I know I need 4 fireballs on tower, but I don't feel confident in it yet. So I'm actually just going to still chill out for now. And just stick with my plan of stacking archers. Tesla takes out the cannon cart, that's huge. Goes for a lightning on my archers, which is really nice. And now I think... Yeah, let's go for the 3 fireballs. It is ×4. Definitely think we can do it. I'm just going to kind of cycle pretty haphazardly here. And, yeah, we're... Ice Spirit, log, and we are back to a fireball. Nice. Okay, so that's going to be GG. Against definitely a hard counter, I would say. I mean, he has a barb barrel, I believe. He has a cannon cart, that is the biggest thing, but he also has a lightning. And so at the start, you know, I thought he didn't have a big spell because he wasn't playing anything, but he does in fact have a lightning there. Yeah, this is basically the perfect counter to Xbow. I guess the only thing he could have changed is maybe switching out the Mega Minion for a bomber, or switching out the Lumberjack for a bomber, or something like that. Just getting a bomber in here would make it even more obnoxious, and I guess arrows instead of tornado. But because of the fact, the only silver lining here is one, abusing single elixir, and the very basics of abusing single elixir there were, well, I got really lucky that he actually cycled a cart opposite, because let's say he cycled a baby dragon instead, I would have gone Xbow, he would have had cart, I would have gotten shut down, and then I probably would have lost, because there's only 1 minute of single elixir, not 2. Usually you have 2 opportunities against Golem, even if you mess up the first one, like my hypothetical there. But thankfully, we were able to just punish the cannon cart. And actually, let's take a look really quickly. Did he even have lightning in hand? Okay, no, he did not. Yeah, so really lucky that he went cart there. He didn't have lightning in cycle, so that was a very important expo to defend, and that was what allowed us to win the match. Because against this deck, you're not going to get a connection past double elixir. Like, it's really just not happening. He has Golem, he has the threat of cannon cart, always fully countering. He has barb barrel Mega Minion, he has baby dragon Mega Minion, he has Lumberjack baby dragon. He has all sorts of combinations, and he has lightning. So that kind of matchup, you really, once again, just have to win in single. And I was very lucky that I was able to get the favorable situation of him cycling cart and not having lightning in hand. But yeah, that is again why it's crucial to play in single. Do not leak ever, pretty much, with Xbow. Make your plays, because you can capitalize on situations like those. And we are at 9-0 now, so let's try and go for the flawless 10-0. Sadly, no extra crowns, only one extra crown, which would have been... They are obviously very important to Global Tournament tie-breaking systems, as I've explained in almost all my videos about Global Tournaments. But yeah, we're at 9 wins, 10 crowns. Let's try and make it 10 wins and 11 crowns. Oh my god, my Tesla almost got misplaced, if you saw there. It kind of slipped over by one, but thankfully got placed on time. And so, Hog Rider could be 2.6, could be Hog Earthquake. I have, okay, Mega Knight opposite, Xbow opposite right away. That is my immediate response. I'm going to hover Skeletons as well, based on what else he wants to do. I'm actually going to go Archers for this, and hopefully the Xbow locks onto the tower, not the Mega Knight. Okay, it does lock onto the Mega Knight, but that's fine because I'm just going to go Knight. And once again, look at this. Knight fully countering Mega Knight with the assistance of the other tower. So that is a very important interaction for you guys to know, especially if you're struggling with Mega Knight in like mid-ladder. Let's just go for a high Tesla. So this pre-Tesla placement, 2 tiles down, is going to kite a Hog Rider, even if I pre-place it. Normally, the most basic center Tesla placement that's 3 tiles down will not kite a Hog, but this one does. Let's go for an Xbow now, because he wasted his Valk. If he goes Mega Knight at the bridge, which I hope he does, actually, Tesla will help out, plus Knight helps out, and I'm going to go Skellies too. Now I'm worried if he goes for a Fireball or something, but Xbow... Oh, Xbow's on the... Okay, yeah, I guess... Makes sense that he'd have a mirror in there, but let's cycle very rapidly back to our Knight, and then Tesla like this. He's probably going to Fireball. Nope, goes Log instead. Probably a misplay because this Xbow is going to get a connection. Yeah, we get another connection. Nice. I'm actually going to Xbow once again. And Ice Spirit as well. I think he is back... Yeah, he is back to his Valk. But he should not have enough for Mega Knight, at least right now. Maybe he does right, like, after a while. Like, now, yeah, he does. But our Xbow's on tower. Let's go Knight. Distract it from the Xbow even more. And Xbow is just getting a lot of damage. So, okay, 2 Hogs coming in right now. Gonna Fireball both of them. And, yeah, flawless defense. He just committed a lot with his Mirrored Hog and Fireball. So I'm actually just gonna keep up the pressure ruthlessly. And with another Xbow, it looks like he might have finally given up, which I'm very thankful for. But yeah, that matchup was really just about smart Xbow pressure. Let's go for an Xbow. I could obviously 3 crowns sooner and faster, but I do want to get more Xbow tower shots, because you guys know the card Mastery. Xbow is so slow at getting tower mastery, like with the mastery skill called Tower Tapper, I think it's called, which is where it just hits the tower. That is so slow. You need like 10,000 hits on the tower or something. That is like incredibly hard to do, so that's why I'm kind of trying to 3 crown with my Xbows. But yeah, that's going to put me at a flawless 10-0 with a very nice 3 crown to end it off. We do get an Ice Spirit Mastery. Speed limit, okay. Level 3 Ice Spirit, that's very nice, because yeah, I have been using Ice Spirit more, honestly. Damage dealer is getting up there too. Speed limit is a funny name for it, honestly. But yeah, that's going to be a really nice Global Tournament run to start out at 10 wins. I keep accidentally clicking on my profile instead. But yeah, we're going to be 10-0 with 3.0 Xbow Cycle and with Ice Spirit. So even though... Oh, Knight was... Oh, 150 gems. That is very welcome. And level 5. So now it has a gold border. The 150 gems is huge. I really like the gem rewards from Masteries, honestly. They're so cool. And I think Punching Bag level 3 might even give even more gems, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, let's just check on our Xbow Mastery as well. Apologies for the tangent. Yeah, I told you, level 2, not even level 3, is 10,000 hits. I play Xbow almost all the time, and I'm still only halfway there. Actually, on this account, I've been playing other decks, like Mortar on Ladder. But, yeah, Xbow takes a long time for Mastery, honestly. But, yeah, really nice 10-0 with 3.0 Xbow Cycle with Ice Spirit, so it is very much doable. There were definitely some matchups where the E-Spirit would have been better. I think Ice Spirit helped out against this one, against Hog, against this deck. But E-Spirit probably would have been better against this one because of Skelly King, Witch, and Tombstone. And it would have been better against Giant Graveyard, of course. But thankfully, the Giant Graveyard player played pretty bad, and we were able to walk away with that win. And recruits to start out. So yeah, honestly, we got our fair share of matchups. We got some hard counters, like they hard counter us. This one was one of them. This one I would say was probably one of them because of the mirror, and Giant Graveyard definitely was one of them. And Recruits honestly was as well because Golden Knight. If they don't have Golden Knight, I'd say it's not really a hard counter, it's just slightly their counter. But with Golden Knight, it definitely is because Golden Knight just shuts down archers. I'm sure you guys know the struggle, but yeah, that's going to be a very nice start to the ramp-up tournament. And once again, if I had to give you guys one piece of advice from my run today, it would be that the single elixir mode is by far the most important if you're trying to have success with Xbow Cycle, because as the game goes on, you simply do not have the resources to get connections if you don't already have an advantage. And against decks like Golem, Lightning Cannon Card, or Giant Graveyard, those situations are going to be hard to come across as well. So honestly, it's just a bit of a tricky situation. I don't think 3.0 Xbow is very good in the ramp-up tournament. But still, you know, a very nice start, and hopefully I was able to help you guys with a bit of a guide and general game plan rules to follow in this format. And yeah, you guys know I pretty much always make 3.0 Xbow Cycle Global Tourney content, no matter what format it is. Unless it's like triple elixir, then I play Xbow Mirror. But yeah, so even if Xbow sucks, I will still be playing with it. And I got to 10-0, so let me know if you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you'd be interested in a part 2 of the ramp-up tournament, where I'll go from 10 to 15 wins with 3.0 Xbow Cycle. I usually do that on my channel. I usually try and do at least 3 global tournament videos every global tournament now, so I'll do 0 to 10, 10 to 15, then 15 to 20. And if it's like a normal game mode, I usually go 20 to 25 and even higher as well. But in other game modes, sometimes I don't get that high with Xbow because it's kind of hard. So 20 is usually my cutoff point, but if I'm doing really well, I like to make more videos. But yeah, that's going to be about it for today. Also, just wanted to say, if you're still watching this far in, thank you so much. But I did push a little bit earlier today with Icebow. So as you can see, I'm top 2k, top 1.8k in the world with classic Icebow 3.5. And I recorded that too, so I recorded that today as well. And I was going to post it, but then I remembered I had the ramp-up tournament, obviously, and I want to get this out as soon as possible too. So I will be uploading this today. I think the Icebow ladder video will be out tomorrow or day after, because I will probably be doing a part 2 to this, but let me know if you guys would be interested in a part 2. But yeah, next few days, that's what you can expect from the channel. And yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Take care. Good luck with Xbow in the ramp-up tournament, and I will see you in the next video.